Welcome back to Educator.com. This is Life Science, and we will be discussing arthropods in the lesson today. Our objectives will be what characteristics are used to classify arthropods. Number 2, how do arthropods obtain their food? And number 3, what are the advantages and disadvantages of having an exoskeleton? What are arthropods? Arthropods are animals that belong to the phylum Arthropoda. There's more than 1 million species of arthropods. It's very diverse. It includes things like insects, spiders, crabs, lobsters, lots of different animals. They have a few common characteristics. The first thing is that all arthropods have something called a jointed foot, and that's actually what the word arthropod means. It means jointed foot. And that jointed foot is used for movement, capturing prey, feeding, mating, and sensing. So it's essential for the life and survival of arthropods. Now, jointed foot doesn't just have to deal with a foot. It can also deal with other appendages or limbs that include legs, antennae, claws, and pincers. Those little kind of pinchy structures like the crabs or the lobsters might have. Those are called pincers. Here are some pictures of arthropods such as the spider, the beetle, the butterfly. This is a centipede, and we'll talk about some of those other animals in this lesson. So there are different types of arthropods. Again, there's insects. All of insects would be considered arthropods. For example, the ants, beetles, flies, there are arthropods. And also we have arachnids. Some people think that spiders are insects. They actually belong to their own group called arachnids. So included in that group would be spiders, scorpions, ticks, and mites. And then there's the crustaceans. Crustaceans are the marine animals such as the lobster, the crab, and the shrimp. And we also finally have the centipedes and the millipedes. They look similar to worms, but they have hundreds or thousands of these tiny little appendages, these feet or these legs. For example, the centipede has 100 legs surrounding its body, and the millipede has 1,000 legs. So it's a very diverse phylum, a group, because it has so many different organisms that are considered to be arthropods. But they all have some common characteristics. Common characteristics would include the exoskeleton. The exoskeleton is the outside skeleton used for protection of the inner soft body. And all arthropods will have some form of an exoskeleton. All arthropods also have some form of a nervous system or something to help them to sense their environment. They also have a digestive system, which includes the two openings, the mouth and the anus. Arthropods can live in a very diverse, different types of environments. They can live in marine environments, and they can live on land. Certain ones live on land only. Some can live in both. And then we also have arthropods. All arthropods have bilateral symmetry. Again, here's an example of a crayfish displaying bilateral symmetry. If you were to cut that crayfish down the middle, you would see that both the left and right sides are mirror images of each other. They look exactly the same. Arthropods reproduce sexually, and they have what we call segmented bodies. They're not all just one body form. The body can be broken into different segments. For example, here is an ant that shows the different segments. It's got the head segment, the thorax or main body part, and then it's got the abdomen. And it also has the appendages or the legs. Now, some arthropods may not have these exact segments because sometimes arthropods can have segments which are fused together, which just means they're kind of like melted, or they look like they combined into one segment. And then there's other arthropods which have very distinct separations or segments.